this self, myself, is like a hook that is always getting entangled. It gets entangled in thoughts and appearances. It accumulates delusion as it becomes more and more solid. We spend our lives hooked on every passing thought, every fleeting emotion, memories, identity, labels, stories. So many stories. At the center of all this is the self, me, myself. That is like the main hook that keeps it all together. It's the hook that keeps the fiction of being a real, solid someone fully in place. There is this poem by the Chinese Buddhist master Xun Yun that I find very beautiful. It's long, so I will not read it all, but I want to read just a few passages to you that I want to talk about. Not understanding birth and death, we're truly at a loss. Our vain, our passage through birth and death. The sages of old kept wagging their tongues like morning chimes and evening drums, attempting to stir the strings of our hearts. Endowed with form, let it not encumber you. Illusory substance, mere false name is just a relative dharma. Quickly turn your heart around and contemplate at ease. Bore through the paper, pierce the cowhide, make your mind round and bright. Return to the origin, reach liberation, go back to the source. Retrieve your true nature. Nothing is not nothing, emptiness is not empty. The divine potentials reveal its wonder heart to imagine. The sages of old kept wagging their tongues to stir our hearts. To wake up. To wake up. Wake up from this dream, from this mirage, this fixated state on all these illusions. The main illusion being this solid and truly existing me. He says, endowed with form, let it not block you. Illusory substance, mere false name. This form that feels like this wholeness. A concrete entity that is the owner of the body, the doer of things. What is that really? If we investigate that, what can we find? What is there to find? Can you find something concrete? If we look within towards ourselves and go past the names, labels, self-defining concepts, hopes, fears, all of that. If we go past all of that, what do we find? The problem is that once this confusion of an existing subject, me, which is rooted in the duality of taking appearances as being something separate, once this separation happens, then immediately this thing that feels like myself takes shape. This sense of an entity that lives here, inside somewhere, this me that seems to exist on its own. And it is full of rough edges, like hooks that keep catching what is appearing, like thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas and concepts, opinions, etc. As we grow up and day after day, it gathers it all, and gradually it becomes bigger and bigger. Me, myself, getting larger and larger. And also more confused and troubled, usually. The sense of a truly existing me becomes the center around which all the ideas about myself gather. And that is what gives rise to this illusion of being something concrete. I am like this or like that. I am this kind of person. Stories, it's stories upon stories. There is nothing there. There's nothing there. And it causes so much trouble. It causes so much suffering. Not just to ourselves. It causes suffering to ourselves, but it causes all the problems in the world. We are born, live and die. And why? What are we doing? These days there is a lot of discussion around this so-called crisis of meaning. And it's a concrete problem. Of course there is a crisis of meaning. Existence is a crisis of meaning. Because underlying this surface level life, chasing after all these things, trying to obtain this or that. If I have positive thoughts, I will feel better. If I obtain this object, I will feel better. Sure, maybe for a while. But underneath all that, there is always this sense of something that is missing. What is all this for, really? What am I really doing? What am I doing with my life? I know. This cannot be resolved through external means or through ideas or philosophies or by, doing something out there, external. Maybe it can feel like that, like temporarily. Maybe we get some idea that we can do or start a new project. And that seems to relieve this pressure for a while. But it comes back. It always comes back. And deep inside we know that it will come back. Shun Yun says, how vain is this passage through birth and death? As in, what for? What am I doing? Accumulating material things, worldly experiences. But what is the real meaning? Who am I? Not what kind of person, but in actuality, what is the real nature of this being, of this mind, of this reality? And this is the most important, because this is the way to peace. And again, all this starts because of this confusion, that there is somebody real here. But it's just stories, stories upon stories. And when we look through all the stories, what do we really find? Is there something concrete? It looks solid from a distance. Like when we look at the cloud. It looks like a concrete object there, something whole. But as we fly through it, that concreteness is not there. Or the sky. Look at the blue sky. Where is the blue color? I can see the blue, but where is it? It appears, but where is it? If we fly into the sky to find the blue, where is it? It's nowhere. It's not anywhere. The self is like that. It appears, but there's nothing there. Shun Yun says, bore through the paper, pierce the cowhide, pierce through the illusion. The cloud, this illusion is like an hypnotic veil that appears as me and reality. We have to pierce through the veil. The real nature doesn't need to be made or created. We just need to see through the veil. The thing is, the veil itself is an illusion also, because the veil in reality is the appearance of this self as real. That is the veil. There is nothing here, at least nothing substantially real that is truly this me. Make your mind round and bright. Return to the origin. Reach liberation. Make your mind round and bright. We can't really do that, but it's pointing. Round, it has no edges, no hooks to get entangled into anything. The normal sense of a personal self has all these edges and keeps getting entangled into all kinds of things, tangled up by thoughts, feelings, sights, smells, ideas, concepts. Make your mind round, no edges, open, all-inclusive, bright, lucid, fully present. Go back to the source, retrieve your true nature. Nothing is not nothing. Emptiness is not empty. What it means here is that from a relative point of view, all these appearances, the world, the self, and everything, doesn't really exist in that way. Things don't exist as they appear. It's illusory, like a mirage, like a rainbow. A mirage appears, but there's nothing there like that, like it appears. So that's great emptiness. But that emptiness is not nothingness. At the heart of this emptiness, there is the full effulgent, lively, pure wisdom awareness of the ground of reality. In Atiyoga, it is often called the source or ground, the luminous ground, pure wisdom, love, and clarity, primordially pure, spontaneously present. So how can we go through this life not in vain, not just going day after day without a sense of what am I doing, so that this birth and death are not in vain, so that we can see through this life and death. This is a real meaning for this life. A meaning that is automatically resonating deep within, something that is not hollow and shallow and pointless. If you are still listening, it's because this meaning resonates with you. Sure, while we are here in this condition, we need to take care of this body and this life, and there is no need to reject appearances as they come. In fact, that would not be really helpful at all. But somehow that happens on its own. Sometimes we focus too much on that, and it becomes an escape from going deep into the nature of what we are. Taking care of this life happens because it has to happen. It is integral to this experience. If I am thirsty, I go search for water. There is no need to think much about it. And if thoughts about what I need needs to be done, then that will appear. They will come and they will go, all by themselves. But this lucid, open awareness remains present, unmovable, beyond arising or ceasing. Everything just flows according to circumstances. There is nothing to be forced. But when we turn our minds around, like he says, turn our hearts around to search for what we really are, to enter into this contemplation of our real nature, not just to think about or read about it, because ideas are not the reality. I think I keep talking about this in all my videos, because it's important. We have to sit with it, or walk with it. We have to stay with it, I guess, until it becomes natural and spontaneous, truly effortless. I spoke about this effort or no effort in my last video, but it's like until it's natural and spontaneous, we do need to look, whether sitting, walking, but we need to look, to have intention to discover. In the teachings of Atiyoga, we have many different ways, methods to look, to discover, and integrate this presence in a very experiential and concrete way. At the start, it's just much easier if we sit quietly and with a clear intention. We call that contemplative practice, just to be clear what it means, as in, it's not the normal, ordinary, distracted mind that is chasing after thoughts and sensory stimulations. It's a deliberate moment to look at ourselves in a kind of special way, if you will. Like it says here, make mind open, clear, lucid. It seems at the start we need to do, but with experience it becomes clear we don't have to do anything, that this open and clear mind is something we relax into. And then automatically it's this round and bright. Just let that be. Let that be. Let that be. Return to the origin. Go back to the source. Retrieve your true nature. I hope this helps.